All right, you guys, welcome to our Thursday night team call. Today's what, the 15th of February. So there is still tons of time left in the month for you guys to be reaching out to people and asking them, how their fitness journey is going and, secure those Success Club points for your team cup and help people along the way. So just a couple of quick kind of team related announcements that I wanted to share with you. And then also I wanted to throw a couple ideas out that you guys can be thinking on, and we can kind of regroup at the end and see if it's something that you guys want to do. So the first thing is I'm going to be doing a What is Coaching webinar. You guys can invite whoever you want. If you want to just have them jump on, but I'm going to be doing it on Sunday, the 25th of February. I know Sunday is not always the best day, but that's just a day that's going to work for me. So I will have a new recording out for you guys to use if you want to, but I would also encourage you guys, to those of you that have teams, go ahead and record one for yourself, host one, or put them on one of mine. It doesn't matter. But I would say that we need to get back into doing What is Coaching calls or sneak peeks or whatever, because if we want our team to grow and we all want to, I know that a lot of us have big goals for this year, we got to be having events for them to come see what we're all about. So with that, I'll be hosting the one in February. If anybody else is hosting one, just make sure you post them in the team page. That team page is open for anyone. You guys can, if you are a newer coach and you want to share your story on one of these, you can do that. But I would encourage you guys all to, let's all see what we can do to everybody recruit 2 new people to the team every month. Because by the end of the year, if we're all just bringing in 2 new people going Emerald every month, then, our team is going to just grow that much more, and everybody's individual teams is going to grow that much more, and we can all help each other reach our goals. So that's the first thing. Along with that, I am going to start doing, hosting monthly new coach trainings. Not sure what exactly they're going to look like, but at the New Leader Conference, they did, give us some kind of direction on that. So I'm going to start one at the beginning of every month. I'll open the group, may use the same group, I'm not sure. But I feel that that's something that we need to start doing as well. And so the group will open on the 1st, and then the content will start on the first Monday of every month. So again, this will also be something that you guys can use as a way for, to draw in new people. Be excited about the training starting, a new coach university, whatever you want to call it, because it's our job to help train new coaches. And if we don't have, systems in place, they're not going to get trained. And so as a leader on the team, I'm going to just take the initiative, and I have more time than a lot of you guys. So I'm going to take the time to kind of go through the materials that I have and re-record some videos. If any of you guys want to, re-record any of your videos that we've been using, just let me know and we can collaborate on that. What was the last thing? Oh, the last thing at the New Leader Conference that they mentioned that I thought was kind of cool, is that they still have a focus on the new leader, or the leadership ladder. And so what they're going to start doing is they're going to start doing more recognition related to the leadership ladder. And the one little sneak peek that we got was when you get to the team leader rank, then they have this backpack thing that you're going to get. It's it looked pretty cool. The picture was pretty cool, but they kind of just flashed it up real fast. So they are going to do some sort of recognition for the leadership ladder starting at team leader. So do you guys have any questions or comments on any of those announcements before I get into the content training part? Feedback, questions?
I have a quick question. Did they mention anything about the changes in the formulation of the Energize?
No, there was no talk about the Energize.
Okay.
Mine still have the NSF thing on it.
So does mine. I don't know. I've just seen
I just got one.
For those, me
That was
too.
the
So
day.
for those of you guys that haven't heard, that people in the coach test group were talking in the 80-day obsession of why the NSF certification label was taken off. And from what I read, the feedback that was given about that was they're doing a different certification or a new certification because they changed some of the formula. And I guess when you change the formula, you have to go through the whole recertification process again. I think it was it the Energize that was changed from the beet sugar to cane sugar?
Yeah, it went
Okay.
from beet
So,
sugar to organic.
yeah, I don't, go ahead.
I gathered that that's going to happen to the whole performance line too. That they're going to take the beet sugar because of quality out and replace it with the organic cane sugar. And supposedly the sugar grams aren't going to change.
Yeah.
That's what I gathered.
And I read, some of the responses that were coming in was basically saying they can trace back better where the organic cane sugar is coming from as opposed to the beet sugar. And that is the reason they're giving for making that formulation change. So I'm wondering if they're really looking to get.
They had a guy talking about Shakeology, and this kind of relates. It wasn't about the performance line, but it was a guy from the Shakeology, and it was about the sugar, how they're now using the cane sugar. And what they said is that the reason they switched to cane sugar is because they can actually certify it organic because it comes from a certifiable organic farm, whereas the other way they could not.
So I'm wondering if they're looking to do some type of organic certification and are making some of these little changes along the way. Like I don't know that I'm just,
Well, my understanding about the Shakeology thing, it wasn't just because of the organic, but also because of they could just trace back the quality of the.
And that was along with the same thing.
And so I don't know that they necessarily cared that it was organic.
Well, the guy said it was certified organic.
Exactly where it came from, and that it wasn't anything bad, whereas with the other stuff they weren't sure what was happening in the process. So that's more
that's part of what organic is.
Yeah.
Knowing the source of where it comes from.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But did it sound like they were going for a recertification for the NSF? Okay.
Yeah, it had something to do, from what I kept reading in those comments, was something about the fact that we're now in the UK. The certification has to be different and it has to be more extensive.
I see.
They really need to do a better job communicating this to the coaches. I might send Dave Ward a message about that, because it's not cool to not be in the know. And then especially if people start asking, your customers ask about the products, you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah.
I will drop him a message about that.
Cool. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone then, and I will get into the training part. Oh, everybody's muted. Look at that. All right. So there was 3 guest speakers at the New Leader Conference. It was Bonnie Engel, Melanie Mitro, and Kim Fitzpatrick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, I have, of course, Bonnie Engel and Melanie, but I hadn't really followed Kim Fitzpatrick very much. So I was very much intrigued by what she shared over her 2 presentations, because, her and her husband are kind of a joint team, Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick. And she really just hit on some good points that I'm going to share with you guys related to the customer experience and sort of branding. And I think it's not going to be anything like that you guys haven't heard before, but I feel like just the way she presented it and some of the ideas that she had were really good. So the first thing is focusing on giving your customers a 5-star client experience. She likes to refer to people not as customers or challengers or anything. She feels like the name client is just a more, kind of business term, because we're all business owners. Our goal is to help our clients get good results. And so she is very much in tune on the customer, the client experience, and making it a 5-star experience. She reaches out to 8 customers a day. So depending on, how much time you have or how many customers you have, she does 8. And she does something that she calls pulse checks. So what that means, or what that looks like, is that, she just wants her customer or her clients to know that she's there for them and she wants to check on them. So she will, I believe she said she uses email. And she simply just asks them a question. Like, she doesn't go into a lot of detail. She just simply says, hey, so-and-so, tell me how you're doing with your workouts, or how things are going for your workouts, your hydration, your sleep, and your nutrition and eating. And so that's just it. It's just a pulse check. It's just that they know that, she's looking out for them. She really wants to know how everything is going, not just their workouts, but how they're sleeping, how their eating is going. And it's just a quick message. And then when they message her back, then what she'll do is, based on what they say, then she'll give them an assignment. So what that looks like is that, let's say that they say they're struggling with, emotional eating or something. She has something in her back pocket that she can send them to listen to, whether it's a book that she can refer them to read, a podcast to listen to, depending on the issue. She just has a list of resources that she can direct them to. If they're struggling with meal planning, she'll send them to a website. She said it's usually the Beachbody blog, an article on the Beachbody blog. But she's always directing her customers to resources where they can get help. And then the key part that she does is that she says, and then circle back with me and let me know how that goes, or what you thought of XYZ that she told them to do. So now she's putting the ownership back on them to follow back up with her and let her know how it's going. Because it's not our job to make sure that the people do what we say. Like, we can't just keep, saying, how is Judy doing? How is, we have to just set it up in our business that, we need to send a pulse check or whatever you want to do once a month, or however frequently that they need a pulse check, and find out, what's just going to work in your business. If they're like somebody that's, really active in the challenge groups, then those are people that you probably want to touch base with less frequently, or more frequently, like via messages. I don't know. You just have to kind of figure out what works for you. Because she didn't say exactly, like, everybody is going to be so different in the people that they're working with and the situation, but they do have a big, one big group, for their clients on Facebook. They do something in their challenge groups called what did she call it? I wrote it down. A workout. What did she call it? It was just like, wow, she had a really cool name for it. I wrote it down, but where did I write it down? That's the thing. A workout roll call. So basically in the morning, they go into their group and like, okay, post below when you get your workout done. And they make it like really quick, just like a quick little, they said they do videos a lot, but they, at the beginning of the day, they want to know who did their workout. And so everybody will comment below, and then they go back and they respond to each person, about their, workout roll call. So it's a way for them to kind of personalize their experience with the challengers in their group. She said that one time, they get an average of 40 or 50 people commenting on their workout roll call daily. So, that's just another idea that you can incorporate into your group, so that not everybody's posting a sweaty selfie or whatever. It can all be on the workout roll call. So I thought that was a really good idea. Then you offer suggestions. Okay. I guess the biggest takeaway about that client experience is helping them to be resourceful. Just like we want our coaches to be resourceful and know where to get information, we want to teach our clients to do the same thing, to where to find information, to where to, the things that they need to be doing every day to live a more happy life, personal development, one of the things that they actually do on their team, which is one of the things I was going to mention, but it fits right here, is they do a book of the month club. So every month they all read a book together. The people that it would apply to, like, of course, if it's a book that you don't really need to read or you don't want to read, then you don't participate in the book club that month. But they do have a separate group outside of their team page. That's the whatever Crush It Fitness book club or something. I don't remember what she said. And then every month, the people that want to read a book together, they just plug into the book club and they all read it together. They have little discussions, like whatever. So it's just another way to make sure that people can, go to this book club and make sure that they're reading. And I believe she said she opened it up to her clients too. Like, it's just one big book club for their whole team. So that's another idea that they had. And above all, though, she said, and then they do weekly Zooms. So kind of like we did, we're kind of doing for 88 Obsession. They do a weekly Zoom call. They do theirs on Saturday morning. So, I mean, that's just, they do this full time. It's their thing. But so and it's just kind of a check-in. And then the other cool thing that they do is they do on Sundays, they have a lot of like certified instructors on their team. And so they will have a certified instructor come into their page and lead a kind of a stretching workout. So it's just kind of a fun thing that they do in their group. So, it's kind of like they just make their groups kind of like their big family. All their clients are like their family, and, that's just what they do. So the other thing that I've requested a copy of it, and I plan to put one together myself, but they have a 39, 40 page manual that they give to their clients. That is basically just like helpful tips, just things that they've learned, daily habits, like all kinds of information that they've compiled, most of which are from the Beachbody blog, she said, that they give their clients. And it's just like an ebook. It's not like a printed out thing. It's like something that they just put together. And she said that's in it. I just say that was all in it. Where is it? Of course, I skipped. Okay. Where is it? She did 2 different presentations, so I'm trying to find that one. So in there's like a page for a food journal. There's a way to track their habits. And it's just all kinds of like tips and stuff for their clients. So I thought that was cool. So she said that we could request a copy of it. So I'm just waiting to get my copy to see what it really is. And then maybe the leaders, we can collaborate and, maybe put something together like that is kind of team wide, that you can then brand for your own team. Okay. How am I doing on time? Okay. Quickly, I will cover the last section. So that's all about client experience. The next thing that I wanted to just share quickly, and it kind of goes along with that color wheel that I shared earlier today from the call this week. It's about how to really focus on your brand and what messaging you're sending and that kind of thing. And she related it to 3 R's. So if you want to take notes on this section, the 3 R's are to be real, to be relatable, and to be resourceful. And so being real means knowing what your 5 things are. Like they kind of talked about on the wake up call, and we've talked about your avatar. We've done those kind of exercises, but really focusing and thinking about who you are as a coach, what makes you different, and what represents you. Like, what do you enjoy doing? And being really clear about those, and then posting, like, those are your 5 things that you post about. So for her, her things were a positive mindset, fitness, fashion, family, and foodie. So that's where hers were. And so then she gave examples, just of how she, posts these things. So like for fashion, she would post, 5 different outfits, like which one should I choose, because she's a fashionista. Like if I did that, people would probably be like, dude, what? You're not a fashion girl. Like, why are you? But for me, like paint colors, like what paint color would go here, because I'm more like DIY, so you think about your brand when you're posting things so that when people see it, they're not like, huh, it doesn't suit you. And then the other thing she talked about was like, she got these professional like fitness pictures done where she was all in like the tight get up and like the fitness clothes, and she's not really like that. And so when people saw those pictures, they were like, that's really not you. But then when she really takes pictures, she's just a mom, with kids that's living the mom life. And so those pictures translate better for her brand. So the whole point of the whole conversation was, like Michelle's team says, just be you. Don't try and be Melanie Mitro. Don't try and be Bonnie Engel. Don't try and be any other top coach that's out there. That was the theme across like pretty much all the like presenters at New Leader Conference was, you just have to be yourself, you and all your struggles and who you are. Put your blinders on. Don't worry about what other coaches are doing, because if you can just focus on who you are, the people that you relate to, the people that are in your tribe, the people that you want to attract to your tribe, they're going to be a whole lot like you. So don't worry. You can look at other coaches' stuff just for inspiration, but don't try and like do what they're doing, because it won't work. Those of you in the STB training mastermind, they did a great call on creating engagement on your page. So if you haven't watched that, I only watched half of it, but really talks about this whole just to be yourself, like share, little parts of yourself. And when you are posting something, a thing that works good for me, I do this for my blog posts on my blog, is I talk to text, so if you talk to the text, it's going to sound like you. And then you can just go in and make the little, corrections to the, punctuation and stuff. And then like you can then reread it. And then when you post it, it's going to sound like you, so think about that. Like as you're creating posts, like do a talk to the text. If you have an idea for a post, turn on your little voice to text thing, go to your notes and say it, say it with emotion and say it like you would talk about it. And then, think about what kind of picture you would want to go with that. And then you'll have a picture to take. So that was a big tip that they had. Let's see. Relatable, the 5 buckets. So then you're posting about that, sharing your journey. And then, that's the homework that I'm going to give. Okay, do you guys have any questions on any of what I shared before I give you a homework assignment? Yep, there's homework. Okay, so get out a pencil, besides the homework on the color wheel. Get out something to write with, and I want you to write down these questions, and these things will help you to come up with things to post about or as you're thinking about your brand and your story. So your brand is who you what did she say? Your brand is who you have become and who you are becoming. So think of moments in your life that have shaped you with these questions. So I remember when, so write that down, and then ... So now, your assignment then is to complete these sentences with something about you. So think about times when you did something and how you overcame it. Just, I remember when. The next one is, there was a time when ... So think about back to a time when something happened, when you did something, when you experienced something, and how it relates. Before coaching, I ... So think about your life before you became a coach. How is it different than it is now? I used to always think ... So before you were a coach, or, you used to always think something about something, and then, how your mind has changed. And then 2 more. I never thought ... So, and then try and come up with things that you never thought something. And then the last one is, what's different about my life because of Beachbody? So think about just, those are just kind of some things to get you thinking about ways to post, because people really just want to know about you. They want to know about your life. They want to know, how coaching has changed you, how being involved in challenge groups has changed you, but as you're posting, people don't know like what challenge groups are. So you just have to, word it in a way that, the ladies in my support group, or, you have to use wording that the average person is going to understand. A good exercise to do is have somebody that's not even remotely familiar with Beachbody or what you do, read over something that you're going to post and see if they get it. If they're like, and if you can do that, you could even have your spouse read it or something. And I have Jason do that sometimes, even though, he's in it, but sometimes I'll have him read something and he'll be like, yeah, that's good. Or no, that's not so good. So having someone just reread over stuff, because these days I think that we're not really looking for the 5 posts a day anymore. I think it's more like the onesie, twosie, really good posts. And then there was a lot of, I'm not going to talk anything about Instagram stories, but we had a whole training on Instagram stories. So that's a whole nother training. But the stories is really where it's at. So, and then the last thing, I promise, is make sure that you're just enthusiastically sharing your journey. Be enthusiastic, because enthusiasm, people want to be a part of something where it looks like you're having fun, and, they want to, people just want to be a part of it. So if you're having fun, find the fun in your business, and, go out there and crush it. So, you guys have any questions? Comments?
Hey, Tami, what was the first question? It's who you have become, and what was the other one?
Oh, it says, your brand is who you have become and who you are becoming.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like, you think about your brand as like, yeah, who you are, but also where you want to go, like you got to think big picture and think about your future and where it is that you want to go.
Thank you.
All right. Look at that. 6:59. Question?
Hey, Tami, when was that STB mastermind call that
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, I'll go check that out. Was that in the STB or the MCB?
STB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
Yeah. It was with Gary and Todd.
Okay.
Who listened to Mel today?
It was good. I did.
Yeah.
It was good.
Her podcast,
So
or was that her podcast or on her business page?
It was the Mel Robbins. You were on it.
Mel Robbins. I thought you meant Mintro.
No.
No, I don't know her like that.
Mel, we go way back. No.
That was good. She has a TED Talk too, if you guys haven't listened to that one yet.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
All righty. So next week we have Michelle or Catherine. Wait, Michelle, you're up, right? And then did you guys want, real quickly, do you guys, would you guys or your customers, or do you think like a book club separate group for people that want to, follow a certain book would be a good idea, or not? Anybody?
I've always loved that idea.
Okay.
But I struggle to get people to want to do it. So even with the magic, which is so nicely structured because it gives you something short to do each day. I had a couple of people interested, but it's like it kind of fizzles. It's
yeah, and I don't know that they do it as so much as like you have to get in there and post every day. But it's just kind of like a place where, to encourage people to do personal development. And then everybody kind of being on the same page.
I really like the idea for sure, because it's something else that we it's something else that's positive that we can give to people, you know, because it's not just exercise, it's not just nutrition. There's so much more to it. And, you know, you get to that point when you start working on yourself through exercise and nutrition that you want more. You want to better yourself even further, and that we can give them more resources. So, you know, maybe we can just do something like each of us takes a turn every month to just lead the group for a month with a different book, and we just put everybody who wants to participate in it that month. And
and it can be like, you know, I mean, you put whoever he wants to do it that month, and then if they don't want to do it that month, then they just don't check the group that month. You know, if they're going to read something else.
Exactly.
So I tried to do my book thing in my free group, and I only have one person doing it. But I think if it's a book club, I think it's more likely that it might, you know, it's not going to be like weaved into your, like trying to weave it into your challenge, you know, free group or whatever. And then it's, you know, you don't have to do it. Like, it's just going to be the people that want to read that book that month.
Yeah.
But then it just will force people to read a book every month. So, Catherine, what are you still doing the magic? Are you reading it?
Yep. Why do you ask? No, I'm kidding.
No, like I was gonna get your feedback, because I mean, I love it.
I'm loving it. I clearly have a lot of work to do. But no, I'm loving it. It's hard because I've got to really, it's like getting that structure in the morning to like get up and do it. And that's what I'm struggling with.
The things I'm grateful for. I'm like, oh, my shoes. The rain.
My hairband.
I mean, when you have to do 10 things a day that you're grateful for, like I'm grateful for my phone, I'm grateful for my coffee, like everything. Like, it's crazy. It's so funny though. But I love it.
Yeah, I'm really loving it. So
I'm thinking about just doing that again, like starting maybe with that one for March, just because I think that, like, I think it's a good book. Like, even if people don't do every single day, but you know, that they can get in the habit of.
I mean, if nothing else, it definitely makes you more aware, and that's what I've been noticing. Like, even throughout my day, it just makes you more aware of being thankful or being grateful, or not having so many negative things run through your brain. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, obviously, clearly, but it makes you more aware of that, which I think is really nice. So
yeah. All right. So we will do a book club, and we'll just see how it goes. Like, we're doing like a big 80-day obsession group, and it's going awesome. So it'll be open to customers. It'll be open to prospects. It'll just be a book club. And it'll just be another thing that you can promote. Cool. Then we'll start in March. All right.
Sounds good.
Any other questions, you guys? All right, you East Coasters, you better go to bed. All right, you guys, we will see you next week.
I got to go food prep for tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Great call.